Muy buenas gente, soy Testubel y aquí estamos en un nuevo vídeo de Juego de Tronos. Ya es la cuarta parte. Ahora creo que viene un cambio de personaje. Ahora somos otra hija del Lord de la casa Forrester, que se supone que está en desembarco del rey. Así que vamos a ver cómo va la cosa. Esa voy a manejarla también. A la tal mira esa. Ya verás.
Although just a handmaiden, she has Marjorie Tyrell's favor. And Lady Marjorie's
No, que no.
betrothal to the king may be enough to keep the Boltons at bay, if it's presented to her as it should be.
¿Y por qué tiene desembarco del rey? Iron Man.
Ethan made this for me.
Broche de alto jardín.
It was very kind of Lady Marjorie to give this to me. It once belonged to Lady Olenna.
Que la de Marjorie apañar.
Asher sent me this coin to remember him.
Esto es.
What a strange place, Essos.
No sé ni dónde está eso. Cartas sin terminar. Leer. Vamos a leerla.
Father, much excitement here in King's Landing for the coming wedding. Lady Marjorie has proven to be quite popular throughout the city. I do wish you and Mother could come, although I know it would be impossible under the circumstances. I miss all of you, and I look forward to the day you can.
¿Vamos a llorar?
Wonders Made by Man, by Lomas Longstrider. A gift from Roderick.
Ahí va hecha por el hombre.
I hope to see them all someday.
Me parece que no.
King's
Como
Landing.
mucho va a ver al Lotri, que ese,
I wonder
al
if it's
otro.
sunny at Ironrath
Que está por ahí
today.
Nassing. Bueno, vamos a mirar. Carta de madre.
It troubles me to even ask this of you, but you must appeal to Lady Marjorie to intervene on our behalf. She is our best hope, and can be a powerful ally, especially now when your family so desperately needs her help.
Que estamos en el norte más solos que la una. Te va a esperar. Ya voy. Ya voy, por Dios, qué nervios. Espérate.
Oh, sorry, milady. I
Ese que
didn't
era
want
mi
to disturb
escudero.
you. I can come back later if you'd like.
Lávate,
No,
hombre.
it's fine. Come in.
Begging your pardon, milady, but you all right?
Tiene cara
If you don't mind my asking, you seem rather upset.
I'm fine, thank you.
Of course,
Estoy
milady.
bien.
Please hurry if you can. Lady Marjorie will be here any minute.
Of course, milady. You work for Lady Marjorie? I may be wrong, but it seems like you do.
Perhaps you should come back later.
Of course, milady.
No le cuento nada. Esto que se quiere enterar de todo. En el desembarco del rey no me fío de nadie.
Lady Marjorie.
La Lady
You're
Marjorie.
I was hoping there would be time for us to talk. Come, there's something we must discuss. From the day you arrived in Highgarden, I've thought of you more as a friend than as my handmaiden. A dear friend, in fact.
Thank you, my lady.
And you know how I feel about what's happened to your family. I feel your pain as if it were my own. What you've suffered is beyond imagining.
I need your help, my lady.
Of course, and I will help you in any way I can. But there's another matter we must attend to first. You must understand there are limits to what I can say, especially here in King's Landing, now that I am to be queen. To have a handmaiden from the north whose family fought for Robb Stark. It raises questions at a time I can least afford. Cersei herself cornered me this morning outside the Royal Sept. She mentioned the northern girl in my service, and she painted you a traitor. She was very pleased with herself. Her face was full of mirth as she said it.
What does she intend to do?
She intends to make you miserable, knowing that will make me miserable as well. She demands an audience. She wants an apology of some sort, for what I don't know, but she's waiting for us now, and I promised I would bring you to her. I wouldn't ask this of you if it were not important. I cannot afford any conflict with Cersei with the wedding so near.
I'll do as you ask, my lady.
Vale.
I knew I could trust you. Humor her. Tell her what she wants to hear. See if the Queen
Lo
Regent
mejor.
is ready to receive
Que el
us.
desembarco del rey hay que tener más cara que espalda.
You'll be fine. I know you will. You may feel one thing, but you must say another. Good luck.
Verás tú.
You can do this.
¿A qué me casa con Tyrion? Verás tú. Me va a casar con Tyrion.
Ah, Lady Marjorie. Aren't you looking lovely this evening?
Lord Tyrion. Your Grace? With your permission, allow me to introduce Lady Mira of House Forrester.
Your Grace.
The girl knows her courtesies. Impressive. You may rise.
House Forrester is a northern house loyal to the king.
Are they?
I beg your pardon, Your Grace.
I wasn't talking to you. I want to hear from the girl. Is your family loyal to the king?
Perhaps you should ask the new Lord Forrester.
He's not here, is he? She is.
Joffrey is the one true king, Your Grace.
And yet, for centuries the Forresters have been loyal bannermen to House Stark. A house of traitors.
They were the Wardens of the North. We all served at the pleasure of the king.
Clever girl.
Perhaps too clever for her own good.
The girl did name Joffrey as the one true king.
Joder.
Is your house willing to swear fealty to your new liege lord, Roose Bolton?
He is the Warden of the North, Your Grace.
He is. And I the Queen Regent and Tyrion the Master of Coin.
The girl has a remarkable talent for answering questions while in fact saying nothing at all.
Old allegiances are not easily abandoned. But now that the war is over, we must look to rebuild and forge new alliances. There are ships and shields to be built, and Joffrey will need a steady supply of ironwood for his armies. I'm told there are others who would happily serve that purpose, but I trust we can rely on House Forrester.
Forster Ironwood does seem rather unique.
Yes, Your Grace.
It would be a shame to see it fall into the hands of another house. I imagine you'd do almost anything to prevent that from happening, wouldn't you? Ask any Lannister, and they'd do whatever was necessary to save Casterly Rock. It would be unfortunate to see another house lay claim to what's yours.
Yes, Your Grace. I would do anything.
I see.
What would you have the girl do, Cersei? It's not as if she fought beside the Starks, wielding a battle axe for the Northern Army.
It raises an interesting question, I suppose. Can we truly blame those who end up on the wrong side of the war? Our dear Marjorie here was betrothed to Renly Baratheon on the false assumption that he would one day rule the Seven Kingdoms. Can we fault her for her mistake? Should she be held accountable?
Pues no, claro que no.
She was just following her heart, Your Grace.
And the very same heart so quickly led her to my son.
If there's a point to this, I hope you find it quickly.
Loyalty can be such a hard thing to
Qué
define.
pesada Cersei, madre mía, qué
The city
pesadilla de
is
tía.
filled with all sorts of ambitious opportunists looking to reinvent themselves, pretending to be something they're not. Who knows what lurks within their hearts?
Como tú.
You are a girl from the north here in service to Lady Marjorie. One can only assume her interests are yours. Yet loyalty to a king, that must be absolute, beyond question. And if your loyalties were to become conflicted between your king and the very person whom you serve, what would you do then?
I'm sure she
Let
would.
the girl answer the question.
You are
I would
right.
be true to the king, Your Grace.
Well said. I was beginning to worry you didn't have your priorities straight.
She is a threat to the crown, isn't she? The most dangerous handmaiden in all of King's Landing.
My sense is this girl will say almost anything to get what she wants. Which is not very encouraging. I'd like a word with you, if I may.
Of course, Your Grace.
Bueno, por lo menos no me ha casado con Tyrion. Que he visto lo visto. Yo quiero hablar con Tyrion,
I'll walk you out. This may come as a surprise, but I met your father once, at the tourney at Lannisport. Even then he didn't trust Roose Bolton. We only spoke briefly, but your father struck me as an honorable man. You have my condolences for his loss. These would be trying times for your family, even under the best of circumstances.
Thank you, Lord
Gracias.
Tyrion. That's very kind of you to say.
That certainly took courage. To so publicly declare your loyalty to Joffrey for all to hear. Poor Lady Marjorie was humiliated, although Cersei seemed quite pleased. It was quite the first impression. I, of course, found it all highly entertaining. No doubt Lady Marjorie will forgive you. Eventually. My sister and I have our differences. She takes great pleasure in her little charades. I take mine in thwarting them. We must find our amusements where we can. She threatened to give your ironwood to another house. It is the Master of Coin who decides such matters. The crown needs boats. Boats need
¿Cómo lo va a
wood,
quitar que no?
and I speak for the crown in this regard, not her.
What are you suggesting?
I suppose the crown could be persuaded to secure ironwood from House Forrester. Lady Marjorie might not look favorably on such an alliance, and it would infuriate Cersei. Although what would be amusing for me might prove
Qué
rather
lío.
dangerous for you and your house. Are you willing to risk that? It may be far too dangerous.
I'm sorry, Lord Tyrion, but it's a risk I cannot afford.
Digo que no puedo.
I admire your discretion. Now, if you'll excuse me, I promised Sansa I would join her for dinner tonight. 3 beautiful bottles of Dornish wine.
Aquí ya está casado con Sansa, coño.
The mere thought of them makes me thirsty already.
I hope we meet again.
Nothing would make Cersei happier. Until then, be careful. This is not the North. King's Landing can be a nest of vipers to the uninitiated.
Bueno, lo que yo he dicho. Hay que ser más mentiroso aquí que...
Mira, I was worried. How was it? Cersei has a way of looking at you as though you're nothing. It's more than a little intimidating.
It went well.
Really?
Me fue bien.
That's relief.
Ahí de esta no me
Cersei's
fío. No
known
me
for being
fío.
rather difficult. Lady Marjorie has spent the entire day working on seating arrangements for the wedding. Of course, you and I are seated way at the back, here with the 4th cousins and the 9th-born sons. Ah, Sir Jaime. I wouldn't mind tarnishing that white cloak of his.
Sarah!
What? It's true. And Oberyn Martell, the Red Viper. I'm told he has a paramour, which I doubt is Dornish for wife.
He is quite handsome.
And quite passionate, from what I've heard. Perhaps Lady Marjorie could make the right introductions. Who knows? We might meet our future husbands. Although, marrying a king, I can only imagine what that would be like. Would you marry Joffrey?
Ahora
if it
buscando
meant you'd
el
become
braguetazo.
queen? He does have a certain look about him, and he's always treated Lady Marjorie well, which is more than you can say for his mother. Well, I would marry him. Imagine the power you would have as Queen of the 7 Kingdoms. I might even allow you to be my handmaiden. Let's see, who else should we marry off? Brienne of Tarth and Tyrion Lannister.
Cállate ya.
What a perfect match. Sir Bronn and...
What are you doing? Well?
I'm sorry, my lady.
As am I. We shouldn't have been messing about.
This is not a game. It's a battle plan. Allies and enemies can be made with every move. Yet they say it is men who are powerful. The Queen was pleased by your display, Mira. I'm just glad it's over. King's Landing can be exhausting sometimes.
Lo hice por ella, en verdad.
There's always someone to please or some perceived slight to smooth over. I fear it will only get worse when I am queen.
Once they know your true heart, the lords and ladies will have no choice
Tengo
but
que
to
ser-
love you.
Do you agree?
It doesn't matter what you feel. It only matters what you say.
You learn very quickly. Your words to Cersei
Es que eso es así,
brave,
claro.
but
Hombre,
I
a
know
ti da
you
igual lo que
must
sientas,
feel
lo importante es
what
lo que
the
sueltes por la boca.
princess might do to your family. I do appreciate your willingness to
Hombre, claro.
appease her, as
Me tiene-
difficult as it may have been.
Thank you, my lady. There's been something on my mind. Something important.
Me quiero ir pa' por este. ¿Qué hacemos? ¿Qué hacemos, tío? ¿Le pido ayuda para volver allí si me tienen que ayudar a esto o no le pido ayuda? Le tengo que pedir ayuda, no me quema remedio.
I did have a favor to ask of you in return.
Whatever you wish to say, you can say
Pero
it in
está
front of
esa,
Sarah.
no.
There are
Tenía que
no
esperar que no
secrets between
estuviera.
us.
It's about my family.
I trust her.
Yo quiero
I
hablar
prefer
sola.
to speak with you alone.
Bueno, que lo
Go on.
recuerde, pero... por culo.
Ask.
Forgive me, my lady. I wouldn't otherwise ask this of you, but my mother insisted. It's about my family.
Ramsay Snow. What would you have me do?
My mother fears our family will suffer if Ramsay is left to do as he likes. She thought if a raven could be sent to the Boltons to let them know House Forrester has the protection of the crown. I know it's a lot to ask of you, and I wouldn't otherwise, but she insisted.
¿Qué le pasa a esto al juego?
That is no small request, especially now.
I know, my lady, and I wouldn't ask this of you otherwise, but my mother has left me no choice. She insisted.
Joffrey knows only too well your family fought for the Starks, and now you would have me ask him to intervene. Is the situation that dire? Joffrey will not look favorably on such a request.
I will forever be in your debt. My family will forever be in your debt.
I don't know, Mira. If Cersei were to find out...
Don't let the Queen bully you. You have power
La rey
over
te
him,
quiere.
Lady Marjorie, as no one else does. Not even his mother. Ramsay Snow will arrive at Ironrath within the week. I would never ask this of you if it weren't so urgent.
Very well. I'll make your request, but I cannot promise anything.
Thank you, my
Bien.
lady. I will send a raven to my family at once.
Bien. Bueno, gente, pues yo creo que lo vamos a dejar aquí. Porque ahora mismo no sé con qué personaje. Supongo que cambiaremos de personaje. No sé, pero este vídeo ya se ha alargado bastante. Porque he querido dejar toda la historia esta que ha tenido la chavalilla esta. Y nada, que espero que os haya gustado. Que dentro de, si no es mañana es pasado, subiré otra parte más. Y nada, que espero que os haya gustado, que darle a like y suscribirse y hasta luego.